What's poppin'? My name is Duckhead, and today I'll discuss the discrepancy between high tier killers and low tier killers, and how I believe that balance on the killer side is at an all-time low. It is, like, in my opinion, the worst it's ever been in this game. Now, before I go any further, I don't want this to be construed as a video to where I'm trying to argue that Survivor is too strong or too overpowered. I'm not trying to do that. I think that Survivor's in a really good place right now. Really good. There is nothing like really crazy broken on the Survivor side. The last thing I can really think about that was crazy fucking broken was 40 people buckle up. And if I'm not mistaken, they did address that. I did hear about Shoulder the Burden. I haven't seen Shoulder the Burden in action against me, and I haven't seen it in action while I've been playing with other Survivors, so I can't really speak on that. But from what I can see, Survivor's in a good place. Anti-telling is nice and strong and powerful. Gen speeds are fine. Gen speeds do not go too fast, right? I think the Survivor's in a good place. So I'm not trying to say the Survivor's overpowered. Now, that being said, I did touch on yesterday how I think that the low tier killers in Dead by Daylight are adversely affected more so than the high tier killers with how weak the gen regression is. Now, I've already touched on that in my previous video, so I won't really rehash those points in this video, but just like a summary, a summation of what I was saying the other day was that gen regression is okay to good on high tier killers and it's bad on low tier killers because of their lack of mobility, generally speaking. Now, also, this is why I said the discrepancy between high tier killers and low tier killers at an all-time bad point, right? In the past, over these past few months, over the past year or whatever, there have been changes that have happened to this game that adversely affect low tier, mid tier killers. And let me discuss the first point, starting with Save the Best for Last. Save the Best for Last was a great tool on almost all M1 killers. And the thing is, with this tool, the killers who are really high tier did not benefit from it. So your killers like nurses, your spirits, your blights, your hillbillies, right? They didn't benefit from that. And the reason is because most of their attacks that they're going to hit you with are special attacks. And if you hit somebody with a special attack, we have Save the Best for Last, you don't gain any stacks, right? And the reason that's so bad is because they didn't need it, but the M1 killers did need it. So you took away that really good tool from your clowns. You took away that really good tool from your trappers, from your fucking, your Demogorgons, right? That's a mid-tier killer. You took away from your pigs, your Freddies, who needed Save the Best for Last in a lot of scenarios. It's a really good tool for them. And the reason that irritates me so much is because the shit is only good on M1 killers, and you took it away. And I will never for the life of me understand why there is this groundswell that believed that fucking Save the Best for Last was too goddamn strong, right? Save the Best for Last on even a Demogorgon, which is a mid-tier killer. Save the Best for Last on a Demogorgon is nowhere near as strong as a nurse with literally everything. Or nowhere near as strong as a fucking spirit with literally anything. Or nowhere near as strong as a blight with literally anything. Or nowhere near as strong as a hillbilly with literally anything, right? Save the Best for Last only really was effective on M1 fucking killers, which is why I'm so irritated that you took that away. And that's just such a great tool that you took away, which makes the gap between high tier killers and low tier killers even fucking bigger. Moving on to something else, how they changed the Mangled and the hemorrhage status effect. Now I believe the bleed out timer to where you're losing health when you're like hit with Savage Butcher or something, I believe it leaves after 90 seconds. It leaves after 90 seconds, right? That effect goes away after 90 seconds. And once again, that Mangled status effect, while it may be annoying to deal with as a survivor, that is a really good tool for M1 killers who rely on only their M1 attacks and don't really damage people with special attacks, right? So with Nurse, once again, I'm going to use Nurse, Spirit, Blight, well, not Spirit, because Spirit, she does, when she phases out of her phase, that does count as an M1 attack. But more so, Nurses, Hillbillies, Blights, right? If they hit you with a special attack, they're not applying Sloppy Butcher to you. That is a special attack, so it does not apply things that give you buffs with M1 attacks. And on top of that, those high tier killers Generally speaking, if you want the best loadout with those high tier killers, you're not trying to run a build that gives you Mangled and Hemorrhage on a fucking Nurse, a Blight, or a fucking Hillbilly. You're not trying to do that. So once again, adversely you affected because the Sloppy Butcher effect goes away after 90 seconds. You adversely affected these mid to lower tier killers. Once again, you keep taking away these tools from these mid to low tier killers, and these high tier killers, they remain relatively unaffected. And I understand the philosophy of behavior as I've been watching them pass this game over the past few months or so, or past year or whatever. They've started to implement changes that give killers best add-ons to them base kit so that they don't have to be add-on reliant, right? So that they don't have to run certain fucking add-ons. And that is a good design philosophy. I believe that is a good design philosophy. However, that does not outweigh the discrepancy between the high tier killers and the low tier killers. These low tier killers getting their base kit add-ons, like the Doctor's getting some base kit add-ons, and the Clown getting base kit add-ons, and the Pig being buffed, or whatever the fuck. That does not outweigh the gap between low and high. And it's not going to close that gap. And it does not justify neutering gen regression the way you've done. It does not justify nerfing Save the Best for Last the way you've done. It does not justify nerfing Sloppy Butcher the way you've done. Right? It does not justify it. It's not enough. So I would really like to see Save the Best for Last at least be buffed back up to its original state. Because I just, man, there is not an argument that I can fucking accept where I am placing a Trapper or a Clown or a Freddy or a Pig on the same tier as Save the Best for Last or Sloppy Butcher, on the same tier as a Nurse with literally anything, or on the same tier as even a Plague with literally anything. There's not an argument I can see that places them on that tier to justify nerfing Save the Best for Last and Sloppy Butcher, right? So I would just like to see these changes that adversely affect these lower to mid tier killers. I'd like to see those changes stop. I really would like to see that. All right, I'd like to see Sloppy Butcher buff that back up to his original state, and Save the Best for Last buff back up to his original state. Anyway, I'm out this bitch. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. And I'm not saying these high tier killers should be nerfed. I'm not saying that, bro. I'm not saying that. I just don't like how these lower and mid tier killers have been shafted. I just do not like that. I don't like that at all. Right? And once again, I'm not saying the Survivor's too weak. Too strong. I'm not saying that because I don't believe that's the case. I think we're only a few solo queue changes away, which I will make a video about. We're only a few solo queue changes away from Survivor being literally perfect, in my opinion. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that the discrepancy between high tier kills and low tier kills is too big? Do you think that it's fucking fine and then I'm just yapping and I just shut my black ass up? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Anyway, I am out this bitch. More Dead by Daylight content coming. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to The Fake Duckhead. The link to my second channel is in the description. I'm out this bitch. Y'all have a good one. Bye. Go on. Hit that fucking like button. I'll clap your cheeks. Bye. Out of this bitch.